Patrons, welcome to another inspiration video. This is inspiration video number 1 for the month of May 2021. And I do it every time, but I can't believe it's the end of May. But you know what? Here we are. And I have some really great news. The studio is going to be opening back in the summer. I know for everybody else, it's really easy to go back to normal, but I find myself struggling a little bit with that since I've been truly quarantined for the last over a year. So I am also having to get my brain around going back to normal. So I thank you for your patience. We also have some work to do on the studio. There were some things that needed to be tied up and some improvements that we wanted to make before opening the space. So that's why it'll be probably the end of the summer. So super excited nonetheless, because we're going to be going back to having our events in person again. So today, just to give everybody a rundown, if you're new around here, this is an inspiration video, and I use these to just basically read a quote, writing related usually, or sometimes it's not writing related. Sometimes it's from someone I admire who gives a great piece of advice that can be applied to writing life. And so anyway, the point of the quotes is really just to get you all inspired or motivated, or if you're already there, then maybe to help you keep going. So today's quote was actually from an account called Every Stylish Girl, and the quote comes from Michelle C. Clark, and it says, "It's a beautiful day to stop dwelling on things you can't control." Now, the reason why I love this quote is because it's a good reminder for us writers. You've probably heard somebody say before, focus on the things you can control, which is the actual writing, right? And that's absolutely true, right? We can't dwell on what we can't control, right? Because we can't control it. So it doesn't make any sense to worry about it. And when we talk about things we can control, what we're talking about here are things like reviews. Can't control how somebody views your book or sees your book, right? We're also talking about things like making it to the New York Times bestselling list. You can try and aspire to that, but you actually cannot control, right? And we all know these days, the New York Times list there are other factors than just selling well, right? So that's what I'm talking about here when I'm or the quote, right? Those are the things you can't control. Same is true for honestly, whether or not you get an agent or even an editor to pick up your book, right? You can, again, work towards those goals, absolutely, and do everything you can to make sure your writing is good, it stands out, all those things. You can't actually physically control that part of your writing life. So focus on things you can control, like the actual writing. Keep producing quality work, keep educating yourself so you continue to get better as a writer. Keep working on stuff. And I would say even now, in modern times, it's probably best to diversify your portfolio as much as you can as a writer. So I know people have their favorite genres and such, but if there are other genres or categories that you're interested in working in or writing in, then explore them, produce work in those categories and genres as well, because you are trying to honestly present yourself in the best way possible. And you're trying to give yourself as many opportunities as well, because the truth is if you're, for example, if you're going the traditional route, sometimes contracts limit how much, the genre, right? You can't sell another book within the genre within a certain amount of time. So if you're writing other things, then at least you're not sort of staying stagnant and waiting for the one book to publish. You're diversifying your portfolio. So those are just some things to think about, and I hope that the quote helped you focus on what you can control, and that's the writing. Get to the desk, produce work, and continue to grow as a writer, continue to perfect your craft. That's just about all you can control, right? So focus on that, okay? Thanks so much for being patrons. I can't tell you I always say it, but you all are the reason we even got through the pandemic, and I can't thank you enough for being here. And I hope if there's anything that you need that I can do for you, feel free to reach out. All right, see you on the next inspiration video. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.